Okay, Samantha, afternoon, we are going to have a lesson on heritage studies. Heritage studies. We are looking at the topic on disease and immunity. Disease and immunity.
Yes.
Okay. Although it's a recap lesson,
Yes.
I'm going to start at the beginning as well because it needs a lot of explanation and a lot of taking down notes. Okay. All right. What can you name any disease that you know, Samantha, before I define immunity? Can you name any disease that you know?
Disease and
Any disease that you know, Samantha? Unmute yourself, Tabo.
malaria.
Malaria, yes, malaria is a disease. A disease is
Malaria.
malaria, yes. Morning, Tabo.
Morning, teacher.
How are you?
Good.
Welcome to our lesson on heritage studies. We are doing disease and immunity. Disease and immunity. Okay, let me spell immunity for you. Immunity is I-M-M-U-N-I-T-Y. I-M-M-U-N-I-T-Y. Disease and immunity. Samantha had given us a type of a disease. She said malaria. Yes, malaria is a type of a disease. A disease is something that can make you sick. Something that can make you sick. It can be caused by a germ, a virus, a bacteria. That is a disease. It can be caused by a germ, it can be a virus, it can be a bacteria. Malaria is one of the diseases that we know. Even flu, common cold, flu is a disease. Now I want to talk about immunity. Immunity is the ability, let's take this down please. Immunity is the ability to resist a particular disease. The ability is A-B-I-L-I-T-Y. A-B-I-L-I-T-Y. When the ability to resist, R-E-S-I-S-T. R-E-S-I-S-T. Morning, Tyrone. Can you hear me?
Oh. Yes, I can.
That's wonderful. Video is on. Welcome to our Heritage Studies lesson. We are learning on disease and immunity. I was defining immunity as the ability to resist a particular disease. Okay. When we say that when there is a certain disease around you, but when you find that you have the ability to resist it, let's say someone has flu, someone next to you has flu, and you find yourself not getting that flu. That is called immunity. When your body has the ability to resist a certain disease, we call that immunity. Okay. For example, you find that you might find yourself not catching a cold whilst you had a cold, or you might find yourself, you go somewhere where people have chicken pox, right? Maybe your neighbor has chicken pox, maybe you had the chicken pox way back, then later on you find out that you're not getting the chicken pox anymore. That is immunity. Your body has developed a certain immunity against the chicken pox. So now, how does the body develop immunity against against any disease? How does it do that? Okay. When we talk about immunity, we are saying that you don't need any pills for that. Okay. You don't need any pills. You just go to a place that has flu, you don't catch it. You go to a place that has malaria, you just don't catch it. You go to a place where children have chicken pox, you don't catch it. And we are saying this is because your body has immunity. Your body has developed a certain way, a mechanism for it to be immune to that disease. Okay, so now we want to look at ways in which our bodies develop immunity. Let it be a subtopic for us. Ways in which our bodies develop immunity. Ways in which our bodies develop immunity. The first way is the skin. Our skin stops germs from coming in. Your skin, right? The skin that you have It is protective. It's protective, and okay, it protects you from diseases getting in. Okay, let's say you go to a place that has dust. That dust is not going to penetrate to your lungs, right? Because outside you have a skin. Your skin is protecting you. Okay, it is closing in all those lungs, closing in all those veins. Your skin, it acts as a protection. Okay, it protects you against all germs from coming in. Okay, and then we have the nose. Inside our nose, there are hairs there. There are hairs inside the nose. Those hairs, they protect you from inhaling any bad air, okay? Let's say you go to a place, a quarry, a place where people, like a mine, where people are blasting stones or where people are mining, right? There's a lot of dust there. If you go there, right, you find yourself not inhaling anything. It is because whatever dust that you inhale through your nose, it is going to be trapped by those hairs in the nose, and you don't have any bad air going through your lungs. Okay, so your nose, it traps all the air and it protects you. It makes you to be immune from any disease. Okay, that's why sometimes you inhale, you are next to someone who has flu. Maybe as the flu germs go in, they are trapped by the nose and they go out again, so that you don't get any type of something going down your nose. Okay, so the nose, they act as a way in which they are protecting you to be immune from a certain disease. Also, the mucus that comes out from the nose, it is made up of dust that has been trapped by the nose, so that whatever that comes out as mucus is protected from you getting it inside your body. Okay, and also our body contains white blood cells, some white blood cells. You have things called white blood cells. These white blood cells, they are your soldiers. They protect you from any disease. When a disease wants to come, right, the soldiers, the white blood cells will stand, right? Some white blood cells can even eat some germs. They eat some viruses, so that that virus no longer has any power over you. You remember the chicken pox that I talked to you about? That maybe you get chicken pox when you are a child, but as you grow up, you sit next to someone who has chicken pox, you don't get it. It is because your white blood cells have weakened that chicken pox virus in a way that it won't have any power over you. Okay, whatever, even if you go to a place that has chicken pox, you just find yourself okay. And sometimes you can have flu today, and maybe tomorrow you sit next to someone who has flu, you don't get the flu. It is because of those white blood cells. They are protecting you, they are making you to be immune to any disease. Okay, all right. Now we want to talk about the 6 child killer diseases. 6 child killer diseases. Can you hear me, Kabo?
Repeat again.
Is there anyone who knows
I
anything?
can hear you.
You cannot hear me. Okay, sorry, Tabo. What about now? Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Samantha, can you hear me?
Yes.
Mr. Spenton, can you hear me, Tyrone?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Now I want to talk about 6 child killer diseases. Who can tell me any child killer diseases? Diseases that are, you remember when you are a child, you always go to the hospital, right? They always, when you go to the hospital, they are protecting you against these 6 child killer diseases. Who can give me any child killer? Yes, Tyrone?
Malaria, I think. Malaria.
Malaria, it is there, but it's not there in the 6th child. Malaria is not included in the 6th child. I want those that are the 6 ones.
Pillow.
Yes, Tabo?
Pillow.
Sorry?
Pox.
Sorry?
Chicken pox.
Not chicken
Chicken
pox.
pox.
There is another brother to chicken pox. His name starts with an M. There is a brother to chicken pox. His letter starts with an M. Yes,
Measles.
Measles. Yes, thank you. Measles. Let's take it down. Measles is M-E-A. Measles is M-E-A. M-E-A-S-L-E-S. measles. Measles. Measles is one of the 6 child killer diseases. That's why in Zimbabwe, when they say that there is measles, they always say all the children below 5 years should go, okay? Because these killer diseases, they don't affect adults, they affect the children, the infants, the 0 to 5 years, those are the children who are affected. That's why they usually go to primary schools, they relate to the ECDs and the grade ones whenever they are talking about the child killer diseases, okay? All right, now I want to talk about how,
Pillow.
sorry?
A pillow.
I cannot hear, Samantha.
A pillow.
It's
Can you spell it? Polio.
P. Yes.
Polio. Yes, polio. Polio is another 6 is also under the 6 child killer diseases. Polio is polio. Polio. Thank you, Samantha, for that. We pronounce it as polio. Polio. Also there is also another disease. Let's say you get cut by a wire that has rust. You get another disease that starts with a T. You are cut by a, maybe let's say it's a knife that has rust. You get a disease that starts with a T. Tetanus. Tetanus. Tetanus is also another child killer disease. Tetanus is T-E.
The spelling.
Sorry?
The spelling.
Or the spelling, yes. T-E, T-E, T-A,
Yes.
T-E, T-A,
Yes.
N-U-S. I'll repeat again. T-E, T-A, N-U-S. Tetanus. Tetanus. That's why your parents always say, don't play with this wire. This wire that is old, or maybe there's an old car that is parked outside. Then they tell you, don't play with it, because if you get cut, you get tetanus. Yes, Chabo, your hand is up.
I heard that if you get cut by rusted wire, you get tetanus.
Yes, it's true, Tabo. Thank you for that contribution, Tabo. If you get cut by wires that have rust, you get tetanus. It is a very dangerous disease, okay? Tetanus is a very dangerous disease. We are going to talk about the symptoms as well as we move. We also have diphtheria. It's called diphtheria. Diphtheria. Let me spell it for you. D-I-P-H. D-I-P-H. D-I-P-H-T-H-E. D-I-P-H-T-H-E-R-I-A. I'll repeat it again from the start. D-I-P-H-T-H-E-R-I-A. Diphtheria. Diphtheria is also another one of the 6 child killer diseases. We have tuberculosis, TB. You always know it as TB. You can put it as TB in capital letters. TB is also another, is also there in the 6 child killer diseases. TB stands for tuberculosis. Okay, let me spell tuberculosis for you, the full tuberculosis. You might be asked what it stands for. Tuberculosis is T-U,
D-E.
T-U-B-E-R, 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 C-U-L-O-S-I-S. I'm going to start from the start. T-U-B-E-R-C-U-L-O-S-I-S. tuberculosis, TB. We also, as children, are being vaccinated. They are vaccinated against TB. The last one is whooping cough. Whooping cough. Let me spell whooping for you. Whooping, W-H, 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 double O, W-H, double O, P-I-N-G. W-H, double O, P-I-N-G. Whooping and cough is C-O-U-G-H. It's separate, okay? You put whooping on its own, then cough. It's whooping cough. It's not one word. Whooping cough. It's called whooping cough. Okay, we want to look at the symptoms. We still have a few more minutes. Let's look at the symptoms of measles. Measles. Want to specifically start with measles. Okay, how is the germ code? How do you get measles? If I have measles, Tabo, you can get measles through coughing, okay? If one child has measles and the other one doesn't have measles, the one who has measles, if they cough, the other one can get. That's why you hear that if a child has measles, they are not allowed to come to school, okay? Because if that child coughs, everyone in the class gets measles, okay? So it is spread through coughing. And what are its symptoms? Measles is spread through coughing, and its symptoms are a child will be sneezing. A child will be sneezing, not just any sneeze, but sneezing many times, and the sneeze, you can tell that the child is under a lot of pain. They'll be sneezing, red spots on the skin. With measles, you have red spots on the skin. That's why I said it's a cousin brother to what you call chicken pox. But measles is deadly. It's deadlier than chicken pox. Chicken pox, you can go through it and then you are okay. But with the measles, it is deadly, okay? It is deadly. So a child needs to be vaccinated against it. Tabo, your hand was up. You had something to say?
Once my sister was caught by measles.
Okay, yes, Tabo. Oh, she had measles, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, Tabo, you can continue.
She used to stay in hospital sometimes.
Yes, it's true. Because measles, if you cough, she can spread it to the next person, you understand? So that's why we say that measles is deadly and every child should be vaccinated against it. So if you hear word that they are immunizing against measles, make sure that your baby sisters and your baby brothers, they are taken there because it is deadly, okay? And also with measles, the child has tiredness. The child is always tired. The child will be tired all the time. Tired. You know, children love to run up and down. They're jumping up and down the bed, jumping up and down the sofas. But if you see the child just tired, he's a running nose, measles, red spots, now you know that this child is not feeling well and you have to rush the child straight to the hospital. Okay, now let's look at polio. Polio, how do you get polio? Polio, you get the germ through eating food or drink containing germs. So if you eat food or drink that has polio germs, you get polio. So with polio, children must always eat, they must always eat clean food, cooked food, if it's, the child is eating food. If it is milk, you know, these naan, the bottles must be boiled. Have you ever noticed that your parents always boil those bottles for naan? Yes, because we want to always eliminate any germs that can be associated with food. We don't want our children to end up getting polio. So we always make sure that food is clean for children. Surfaces are always cleaned. I'm sure your mothers always have Dettol with them, hand sanitizer with them, because children are sensitive. They can catch these things easily. What are the symptoms? The symptoms are the child has paralysis. You can tell me what paralysis means. Who can tell me what paralysis means? Yes, Tyrone?
Where you can't move or do anything by yourself.
Thank you, Tyrone. Well said. Well said. Where you cannot move or do anything, your hands are no longer working, your legs are no longer working. If you become paralyzed, the child might end up being on a wheelchair, okay? Yes. Or even the child's hands will no longer function, just like what Tyrone said. So paralysis is not good. You have a baby sister who is born with the legs okay and the body is okay, and because of polio, their baby sister can have paralysis, which means that your baby sister can be disabled in a way. Polio is very dangerous because it can paralyze a child, okay? It can paralyze a child. So hence, children must be immunized against polio, okay? That's why you see your mother will go 3 months, she'll go 6 months. She's always going to the hospital every time with the baby, okay? It is because there are these child killer diseases that the children must be immunized against, okay? They must be vaccinated against them because they are deadly. Okay, let's talk about tetanus. We're going to talk about these three, then next time we're going to continue. Tetanus, the germ enters through a wound or a cut. Like what Tabo said. Tabo said, if you cut yourself with that wire or with that, you know, boys love to, they love to play with these wires and these cars, these old things. They must be careful. If you cut yourself with that thing, you can get tetanus, okay? And this tetanus, it gets through a wound or a cut. And how, what are its symptoms? You can develop fit-like symptoms, okay? You have convulsions, okay? Who has seen someone who has fits before? Who has seen someone who has fits before? Yes, Tyrone, you have. Samantha, have you seen someone who has fits before?
Nope.
Samantha?
No.
No. Tabo?
No.
No. A person who has fits, they convulge all the time, okay? They are always shaking, they shake. And as they are shaking, their brain is also shaking as well, okay? Fits can damage your brain, okay? It can cause brain damage, okay? So with tetanus, if you contract tetanus, you can develop fits or convulsions. These convulsions are not good for your health. They can paralyze your brain, okay? You can have what we call brain damage, whereby every now and then you are falling every now and then because your brain has a problem, okay? Yes. So tetanus is also dangerous. Children must be vaccinated against it all the time. And also the jaw muscles become stiff. You see, when you are eating, these jaw muscles, when you are smiling, the jaw muscles, they shift well, okay? Imagine when the jaw muscles are no longer shifting. Are you going to be able to eat properly? You can't even chew when these jaw muscles are stiff, okay? You can't chew, you can't talk, okay? So tetanus has such symptoms, okay? And imagine these things will happen into a child, a baby, a 5-month-old baby or a 1-year-old baby, okay? It is very, very sad.
Yes.
Yes, 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 yes. Okay, so before we end our lesson today, who can give me any child killer disease? Any child killer disease? We are coming to the end. Let's just name them fast. Yes, Tyrone?
Measles.
Measles.
Tetanus.
Tetanus. Thank you. Tabo?
Music.
Measles. Thank you. Any other one? Samantha, that we did not mention? Any other? Tuberculosis, TB, whooping cough, polio. Remember, these 6 child killer diseases are very dangerous, and so we must always encourage our parents and everyone else to get the child immunized against them. Okay, let me give you a chance to say goodbye to one another. Tomorrow, I'm not going to be here for a Zoom lesson, okay? I'm going to record, but I have sent work for you for today and tomorrow, okay? So tomorrow I won't be there.
Yes.
Okay, all right. So remember tomorrow, but I have sent work for you that is due on Monday. Let us revise. I'll be talking to you through the video, okay? Because on Monday we are having an agriculture 6 weeks test that is out of 40, okay?
Yes.
Okay, all right. So bye guys. I'm going to see you again on Monday. Bye Tyrone. Bye Samantha.
Bye.
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 Bye. See you again on Monday.
Bye.
Bye guys.
Okay. Bye.